Okay.
Like,
How
it
good
was
was
a
it?
legitimately, I mean, like, it was stupid as fuck, but it was funny.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I did. My one goal was like, don't laugh out loud. Don't you fucking dare laugh
Yeah.
at the movie. There was at least 3 times where I couldn't help it. But my point is, they did what they should have done as like a fucking fifth or whatever sequel, right? Some weird spin-off sequel type thing, right? Lightyear was some weird spin-off sequel, prequel, whatever the fuck. And there was like not one callback to the source material, because like that's why you're seeing it. Obviously, is because you grew up with Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. You saw Toy Story and you loved Buzz Lightyear, and you're like, oh wait, now
Right.
I can see what Andy saw that made him buy the Buzz Lightyear. Why did the toy store have that entire wall of Buzz Lightyears?
Okay.
What was that based off of? Oh, it's based off of this movie that I get to go actually watch? That's sick.
Exactly. It's the whole nostalgia kick thing, and it reminds you of the source material. So this
Yeah.
one, obviously, Despicable Me is not nearly as big as Toy Story, but that movie still came out in what, like 2010. So we were like, I think I watched it with you, didn't I, at your house when we were younger?
Toy Story? Probably.
No, Despicable Me,
Oh, Despicable Me? Maybe. I don't know.
because we were like 8 when that came out. So we were like fourth grade, fifth grade. I don't fucking know, but it came out like 2010 through 2012, somewhere in that era.
Yeah,
And
so we were like 10. We were like 9 or
right, so it
10.
was still like part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie is all callbacks. It's all just
Oh,
like, hey, remember the original Despicable Me, guys? Hey, remember that movie? And we're like, yeah, I remember that movie. I remember that. That's cool. And
nice.
yeah, it was a lot more enjoyable. And
Sweet.
then yeah, it was really something.
You know what? I saw a movie before. It's old news at this point, but it was like surprisingly not terrible. The fucking Top Gun reboot.
I've heard great things about it,
I
and I
saw
hate
it.
the
It
original.
was fun. Okay, so you've seen the original. Okay, it's very much like the
And,
original. What do you not
okay,
like
it's
about
just
the original?
80s. It's okay. So the genre of the original is just 80s,
Yes, yes. It's
and
fucking.
I hate that.
It's Tom Cruise,
It's
just
just
like
80s. It's shirtless Tom Cruise playing volleyball on the beach.
yeah.
That's like 50% of it.
Yeah, so like here's the thing. I remember seeing Top Gun when I was like a lot younger, but I didn't really remember much about it. So we were gonna go see it one night, and I decided to watch the first one again just so I knew what the fuck was going on. And it was like fine. I thought it's fun. You just need to like treat it in the right manner. Like, you know, you can have fun with it. It's just don't take it too seriously. Like just treat it as like 80s ridiculousness.
Right.
And if you go into this movie with the same attitude, you'll have fun with it. Like, it is a bunch
Okay.
of callbacks. The movie opens with Danger Zone playing over scenes of jets taking off from a fucking aircraft carrier. Like, that was really cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad they did that. Except it doesn't take place in the 80s, so it's more modern. Like, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise still. So he's old now. And that's like the plot is that like Maverick from
Oh,
Top
it
Gun
is.
is like old now.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, he's old now.
So it takes this like present day.
Yeah, it's basically present day where he's training like
Okay.
the next class of like fighter pilots, and the whole sort of premise is that like, oh well, they actually don't really have the tools to teach people to fly fighter pilots because most of it is drones now. Most of it is fucking remote control, so they don't really teach people to fly like that anymore. But they can't use drones for this one specific mission for some reason I don't remember. So we're going to need pilots, but all of our pilots suck because they're only used to flying drones. So we need to go get an old guy from back in the day that knows how to fly a plane analog. So let's go get Tom Cruise because he's still around. And like it was all right. They did the beach volleyball thing again too. They weren't playing volleyball, but they did
Of
have
course.
a scene in the middle of the movie where completely dropping all pretense, they're hanging. The whole class is like hanging out on the beach, and like a bunch of the dudes are shirtless, and they're playing football. They're playing beach football, except now there's girls involved, so like the scene sucks. But it's like freaking ew. Like they're girls on the beach in their bikinis playing football? No thanks. I came to see shirtless men play volleyball, but okay. And they have Val Kilmer in it, which was crazy. Like, that they put him in the movie and, like, actually acknowledged that, like, they wrote... Okay, so Val Kilmer, he was Iceman in the first movie. He's the blonde dude that was, like, Tom Cruise's rival. But then, spoiler for Top Gun, but then fucking Goose, his wingman, dies, and then he ends up teaming up with Iceman, and then they're, like, friends. Well, Val Kilmer, in real life, between these movies, gets throat cancer, and, like, he can't really act, and, like, his voice is all fucked up now. But they write that into the movie.
What the fuck?
So, like, Tom Cruise, it's looking bad, right? It's looking like he's not going to be able to train these guys in time. It's looking like he's going to, like, lose his job, and he's not going to be able to succeed on the mission. So then he goes and talks to Val Kilmer, who he goes to, like, Val Kilmer's house, and he meets, like, some assistant or something that works for him. And she's like, oh yeah, ever since, like, the throat cancer, he doesn't really talk so well. So, don't make him talk too much. And he's like, oh, okay. So then he goes in, and, like, Val Kilmer starts by, like, he has, like, this Stephen Hawking fucking setup where, like, he types something out on the computer and then shows it to him. And then it's, like, supposed to be really emotional because you're like, oh my god, this guy is actually fucked up. And then he talks for, like, a little bit, like maybe 2 minutes at, like, the end of the scene when it's supposed to be, like, really emotional. I was like, there is no fucking way they put this in the movie. What the fuck? But, I mean, I thought, like, if they had to handle it anyway, like, I think they would have just written him out, but they didn't, which is like, okay, I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but I think they did it alright. Like, I think they were respectful and everything. But, like, if you want the perfect way to describe the tone of the movie, so Goose, right, in the original Top Gun, he dies, but before he dies, him and Maverick are best friends. Well, they hang out, and, like, you see Goose's family. He has, like, a wife and, like, 2 kids, right? The son from that movie is grown up, and now he's in the class that Tom Cruise is teaching. So it's that guy is Goose. It's his son that he's teaching in the class to be, like, a fighter pilot. And if you want the perfect way to know this movie, his dad was Goose. So the kid, his code name is Rooster.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really all you need to know. And he has the goofy 80s mustache. Like, he has the same mustache that, like, Goose did in the movie. But it's modern day, so it's like, no one has a mustache like that anymore, bro. Like, it's weird. It's really fucking weird. They're like, it's Goose's son, and it's like, he doesn't look like him at all, except he has the same mustache. Like, he got the mustache from his dad's side. Yeah, it was ridiculous, but it was fine. Like, it wasn't, like, the greatest shit I've ever seen. It wasn't, like, amazing, but it was, like, serviceable as a movie. It was, like, not hilariously bad. It's just, you need to go into it expecting, like, okay, same thing as Top Gun, same deal, where it's like, it's gonna make all the callbacks. It's gonna have Danger Zone. It's gonna have the beach volleyball. It's gonna have them flying. The special effects are way better. They're gonna be fighting some sort of enemy nation, but they never tell you what army it is they're fighting. Same as the first one, where they're like, yeah, you need to fight these guys. And, like, they don't tell you what nation they're at war with. It's just, like, generic bad guys. Which I thought was really funny, because they did that in this movie.
Are they Eastern European? It's always either Eastern European or, like, unnamed Asian country.
They didn't specify, because whenever they showed them, I think it showed white guys if you could see the skin, but they were almost always in giant flight suits that covered basically everything, so you can't really tell.
Okay.
And so it's like, oh, okay, sick. Well, yeah, I mean, so, not a bad movie. I was expecting it to be way worse. Like, I walked out of it and I was like, okay, so that was ridiculous, and it was really funny. And a lot of the times I was laughing at the movie, not with the movie, but it was, like, not bad.
Okay.